Thank you very much. We are, as Margaret said, the Evanston Encore Chorale. We are a non-audition chorus of older adults, generally aged 55 and up. We are a combination of different types of singers. Some of us are lifelong choral singers. Some are getting back into choral singing after a break of a few years or many years. And some are brave and ready to try something new, namely the fun and adventure of choral music. We have been rehearsing here weekly for the past 6 weeks. We'll talk a little bit about more about our upcoming fall session a little later in the program. Now back to the music. The song you just heard, Verdi's Pensiero, is a famous chorus from the opera Nabucco. Nabucco in Italian is short for Nabucodonosor, the king whom in English we call Nebuchadnezzar. The opera's plot is based on events recorded in the books of Daniel and Jeremiah, which follows the plight of the Jews as they are in turn assaulted, conquered, and exiled from their homeland. The lyrics echo the biblical verses that say, "By the rivers of Babylon we sat down and wept." The lyrics are also an attempt to stir hope and steadfastness in the hearts of the exiles as they envision a return to their homeland. Now, it's a great tune, and Va Pensiero has been so popular in Italy that there was a movement about 30 years ago to declare Va Pensiero as the official Italian national anthem, replacing the one that is in place now. That attempt failed, but the song's popularity endures. This song and this opera also helped to establish Giuseppe Verdi's permanent reputation as a composer. And Verdi said late in his life, "It is certain that Nabucco was born under a lucky star." So we got to begin our concert with a lucky song. Looking forward to our next song, there is also an Italian connection there, because the composer who arranged this English folk song for mixed chorus and piano is Luigi Zaninelli, an Italian-American born of all places in Raritan, New Jersey. He studied at the Curtis Institute, has been a composer and academic his whole career, from which he recently retired. Sometimes he composes under the stage name Lou Hayward, only in America. So here is the famous English folk song, "The Water is Wide," arranged by Luigi Zaninelli.
The water
Thank you very much. Well, now that we've sung this piece, The Water is Wide, I can tell you a funny story. One of our singers asked me recently if I could give her some background on the folk song, The Water is Wide. I don't know about you, but I've heard that song for most of my life, starting from the early Pete Seeger version that I heard as a young boy. There are many recent covers by James Taylor, Enya, Eva Cassidy, the Cowboy Junkies, you name it, it's very popular. John Rutter, the famous English choral composer, has a beautiful a cappella version of that, which I sang in my 20s. And Hal Hobson, the prolific choral arranger, has a version that's often sung at church weddings. So one would naturally assume that this song, like so many of the English ballads, has a long history where the same text and the same melody have coexisted for hundreds of years. And that's what I thought, and that's what I told this singer. Well, imagine my surprise when I actually decided to do a little research. I found out from the German folklorist Jürgen Kloss that the tune as we know it today was basically stitched together in the early 1900s by the great English folk song collector Cecil Sharp. He published a book in 1906 of tunes from the region of Somerset in England, and this song didn't exist until then in the form that we currently have it. He took a phrase from this song, and a phrase from that song, and a phrase from that song, and published it in his book, As the Water is Wide. And so this song that we think has been around forever is only 100 years old. So such is the life of discovery. Anyway, it's a lovely song and a beautiful arrangement. We move now to another marriage of old and new. One of the oldest prayers in the Roman Catholic religious rite is the Requiem Mass, which is said, as is the Jewish mourner's Kaddish, in memory of a loved one. The next piece is one of the prayers that's often included in musical settings of the Requiem. This text is the Lux Aeterna, and it translates from the Latin as follows. Grant them eternal rest, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. Let eternal light shine upon them, Lord, with your saints in eternity, because you are holy. It's an exquisite musical setting by living American composer Tom Porter, who's a few years older than me and lives in North Dakota, where he's a university teacher and choral conductor. Now, one of the things I love about living composers is you can actually talk to them, and they're interested in talking about their music. So I emailed him. I got a response back the next day, and he told me a little bit about this piece. Lux Aeterna was written in the memory of a friend of his, Bill Schmidt, who grew up in the same North Dakota community as Tom Porter did and actually taught Tom's children. Bill Schmidt, his friend, died in 2010, and Tom published this lovely piece about 2 years later. And Tom told me I wanted to write something for Bill that was based on the traditional chant and text from the Requiem Mass, but also focused on the concept, grant him peace and eternal rest. And he also wanted the piece to be serene and hopeful. And it certainly is that, as you'll hear. So there are two main melodies in the piece. One of them, which opens in the tenors and bass, is the traditional Gregorian chant on the words Requiem Aeternam, and there's another new melody to the words Lux Aeterna, and they interweave in absolutely gorgeous ways. So this is Tom Porter's Lux Aeterna. Please enjoy. Thank you very much. In the Encore Chorale, we are blessed to have the opportunity to work with a gifted pianist, Amy Wurtz, who serves as our accompanist. Yeah, give it up for Amy. Amy serves as our accompanist every week in rehearsal, and we are so happy to give her an opportunity now to shine as a soloist. And so now is the time for us to enjoy those gifts in the first movement from the Sonata in A flat major, Opus 110 from Beethoven. I give you Amy Wurtz. Thank you so much, Amy, for that beautiful music. Please give Amy another round of applause. It's so beautiful. Amy is also a gifted composer in her own right. She gave me a recording of her string quartets when we first met, and one of her string quartets, #1, is my favorite. It's absolutely exquisite music, so it's so wonderful to work with a colleague who knows music really from the inside out, the way she does. So, now it's your turn to get involved in the music. We are now going to sing a song that's almost 100 years old, Fred Fisher's famous Chicago at Toddlin Town. This was first published in 1922. And just a few quick notes on some of the historical references. Can I see a show of hands of those of you who remember the Chicago stockyards? Hands up? Okay. So Chicagoans shared the delights of our stockyards with the world from 1864 until 1971. 71 was the year I moved to Chicago as a boy. Now, no one wants to actually see how a hot dog gets made, but in its heyday, 25,000 people were employed in the meatpacking industry in Chicago. And at that point, 82% of all of the meat consumed in the United States was processed right here in Chicago. That's a lot of meat. And of course, you couldn't consume all those hot dogs without washing it down with beer or whiskey or whatever, which leads us to the name of a man in our next song, in Chicago, that Toddlin Town. You'll see the lyrics here in your program on the inside page, right here. Sing along words to Chicago, Toddlin Town, which I hope you will use, because we're about to sing it together. Billy Sunday was a professional baseball player, but he found the gospel at the Pacific Garden Mission in Chicago and decided to spend the rest of his life preaching and spreading the good word, in particular trying to lure people away from the evils of drink. This was the era of Prohibition, after all, and temperance. Now, Billy had a lot of charisma, but he couldn't get Chicagoans to stop making a hooch, which is why the lyrics call Chicago the town that Billy Sunday could not shut down. So here's how the sing-along works. You've got the words there. We'll sing the opening section with you, so sing along as best you can. So we're going to practice that first, all together. And let's do that right now. So let's have the first note. Probably heard this tune before. Just belt it out as best you can. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, go. Chicago, Chicago, that Toddlin Town, Toddlin Town, Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around. I love you, bet your bottom dollar, you lose the lose. Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday could not shut down. On State Street, that great street, I just want to say, they do things they don't do on Broadway. Say, they had the time of their life. I saw a man, he danced with his wife in Chicago, Chicago, my hometown. That's great. This is a very singing audience. We love it. That's wonderful. So, in the verse that we're going to do, listen for a reference to a place called College Inn, which was a classy restaurant in the famous Sherman Hotel. The Sherman Hotel was located at the corner of LaSalle and Randolph, where the Thompson Center now stands. And the Sherman was elegant. The Lithuanian Jew who took over the hotel and made it a success did so in part by insisting on an elegant institution where they would not play classical music. What did they play? They played jazz. And the musicians were all dressed up. But that's why the lyrics in the verse that we'll sing say, in that college from professors you learn to jazz. That means at College Inn, there'll be people who teach you how to dance. Because at that time, jazz was a verb. So like we say, I'd like to swing, I'd like to foxtrot, I'd like to jitterbug. Back then they would say, I'd like to jazz. So that's why the verb says, you learn to jazz. So the way the song works is, we'll all sing what we just did all together, then I'll conduct the choir in a verse on their own, and then we'll all join together again on State Street, and that's how it's going to work. And if you want to stand up to sing, that'd be great too, your choice.
Chicago, Chicago, that Toddlin Town.
Well, then congratulations, you just performed with Encore. Way to go. Now, if you like that, and you like what you're seeing and hearing, and you'd like to be part of it, we would love that too. Encore rehearsals in the fall in Evanston are on Monday mornings from 9 o'clock to 10:30. We've got some literature on the back table next to the food and drink, so please feel free to take one. We also have a website, encoreillinois.org, which is also in your program. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. We start up again the week after Labor Day. You can register online. If you're really excited, you can take a registration form now and join us. We'll have a 15-week session in the fall with performances in December and very fun holiday repertoire. We have 6 Encore chorale locations this fall: Gold Coast, Hyde Park, Evanston, Hinsdale, Oak Park River Forest, and Arlington Heights. We are just blown away at the response to this, what we're bringing here. So we're just so grateful for that. Rehearsals are always on a weekday when it's light outside. If you miss a rehearsal in one location, you can make it up somewhere else. And we have a couple singers from other chorales in Evanston who are joining us tonight, which is just so much fun. On August 11th, down at 4th Presbyterian Church, all singers from a bunch of different chorales, I think about 80 of them right now, are all going to join forces for a concert. And as this thing grows, we get to start doing these very, very large combined performances, which is so much fun. Also, Encore concerts such as this one are always free to the community, and we offer scholarships to singers who are unable to pay the entire tuition. If you feel that what we're doing is worth supporting, we would appreciate your financial support. Encore was started in the Washington, D.C. area in the early 2000s as part of a groundbreaking study on creativity and aging, which was put on by the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Institutes of Health, and George Washington University. We've been following the research that shows how good the emotional and health outcomes are for older adults who participate in artistic activities under the direction of a professional artist. That's what gave birth to Encore. So we therefore aim to keep older adults vibrant and healthy by offering a place where anyone who wants to participate can join one of our choirs. Your support allows us to keep pursuing our mission to touch as many lives as possible with the joy and energy of choral music. There's a small form in your concert program if you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation to Encore Illinois, and there will be volunteers with colorful baskets at the doors on your way out, so you can drop your form in there. We would be most grateful for your support. But most importantly, it's about the singing. We create a fun and supportive environment. Just ask the singers how much fun we have. We would love for you, that's you, to sing with us. There's no audition. No audition. And if you need to sit for rehearsal and performance, that's fine too. All that is required is the desire to sing, and all are welcome. So, if you are 55 or older, or would like to pretend you are, we would love to welcome you and your friends. And before we sing our last song, I'll tell you about that a little bit, I just want to give one more big thanks and shout out to the Merion for being our rehearsal home, for being our performance home here tonight. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for the fantastic. So the final song on our concert is an African-American spiritual arranged by yours truly. The history of this arrangement is as follows. Some of you, I know, have been following my work with the professional ensemble Chicago a cappella. About 5 years ago, we did a program of all African-American spirituals. And in that concert, I did a medley I call Old Testament spirituals, where I smushed together Did My Lord Deliver Daniel, Joshua at the Battle of Jericho, and Go Down Moses all together. It was a long piece, about 6 minutes long, and it was really cool. I'm a little biased, but I thought it was really cool. And the last spiritual in that cycle was Joshua. And when we started doing Encore here, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to take the Joshua part by itself, add a piano part, and bring it to you as part of this performance. So one of the singers asked me to explain something that happens about 3/4 of the way through the piece. The lyric says, "Then the lamb, ram, sheep horns begin to blow, the trumpets begin to sound." Remember that Joshua and his army are circling the city of Jericho 7 times. And when the sopranos sing that, the lamb, ram, sheep horns, I have the other 3 parts go. If you've ever been in a synagogue on Rosh Hashanah, the one commandment you have to fulfill on Rosh Hashanah is to hear the sound of the shofar. So I thought I'd throw the shofar in. So listen for that when they do that. So if you're wondering, wow, what is that? And one of our singers also told us that there are actually acoustical reasons about the physics of the way sand responds to sound. that it's actually legit as to the way they've done experiments on this. It actually, if you actually did circle Jericho 7 times and did this big blast, if there were walls made out of sand, they wouldn't indeed fall down. So, without further ado, Joshua for the Battle of Jericho. presentation. Please come shower these wonderful singers with congratulations and enjoy the rest of your evening. Congratulations. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Margaret.